Welcome to Manchester United.
Still some seats on row 14 here, 4 seats left here. Nice seats those, comfy seats. Okay, that's it. Some seats here. If you'd like to on row 15 please. Okay, a few more still come on. Trafford, the home of Manchester United, the greatest football team in the world, greatest football club in the world. Right, I was just checking because I'm sure there are some people who don't support Manchester United here. But this is, as Bobby Charlton called it, the theatre of dreams. And it really does, it is a special place. It goes back for a long time. It was our 106th birthday not long ago, 19th of February. And a very, very special place it is. So we're going to take you around today. My name's Bob. And this is Alan, and we're going to make sure you have the best possible time that you can here at Old Trafford. But first, who's going to acknowledge that they're not a United fan? There will be some. Here we go. Here we go.
Get out your Bob.
Arsenal. Security.
That's a bit harsh, isn't it?
Arsenal. Well, we've got a very mouth-watering game coming up on
See you
Sunday.
tomorrow.
Who else have we got? Right, we are now in the concourse of the Sir Alex Ferguson stand. This stand was actually built in 1996, ready for the European Football Championships, because games were played here. But it was renamed in 2011 to celebrate Sir Alex's massive success at this club. We're going to just walk down the concourse to where we see what looks like a print, and then we'll move down to the scoreboard end where you can get some great pictures. So if you'd like to follow me. Right, obviously from a distance it looks like a print, but when you get a bit closer it's a little bit more. And really it indicates that Sir Alex Ferguson has become a legend at this club. 26 years at this club, 38 trophies, some of which are pictured there. The most successful manager for Manchester United, and I don't think we'll see many other managers that are going to reign at a Premier League club for as long as this particular gent has. So quite impressive. And if you're wondering why Alan looks so tired, he was up all night doing that with his nails in his head. Took him ages. Okay guys, do you want to have a walk down here? Have a look at some of the great pictures of goals that have been scored at this famous scoreboard area. Oh, it's a shame, isn't it? You're going to be watching it on television, maybe?
I always watch.
Where do you live? Gainsborough. Oh, right. That's Lincoln. Is that Lincolnshire? Is that Lincoln there? So, you get, do any of your
One time, all this.
schoolmates support Manchester United? Are you the only one? Good. All right. Sorry. Okay. Just look there for a second, Chelsea. Just make sure everyone's back with us. Okay guys, I'll just stop here for a minute, make sure everyone's with us. In case you're wondering, this is the scoreboard and the east end of the ground. These grids that you've been walking across, they cover a water tank. There's a water tank that goes all the way along this stand, 55,000 gallons of water, and that's how we keep, obviously, the pitch nice and slick, but also in the winter, if the pitch is frozen, we've got 18 miles of piping, and that pumps hot water all the way through. So if you wondered what those were, that's what they're about. We're going to go up here. If you turn left and work your way all the way along, this is where our disabled fans have got a specific area where they can view the game. So please take pictures, lots of good areas to take pictures. If you'd like to make your way along. Take it with that in the background, the Stretford end in the background. You'd just like to move along with... There we go. Supporters Association. We have 104 spaces here and 16 more handicap spaces at the top of the Sir Alex Ferguson stand at the quadrants at either end. When they join our Supporters Association, people who are disabled, they pay a £30 joining fee, something like that, but they then go into a ballot and they get free entrance to the game, and a carer gets free entrance as well. We believe we're the only Premier club it gives free entry to our disabled fans. So we are working hard and appreciate what they give to us and what we can give back to them. Behind me are 20 seats which are enabled for people who are blind or partially sighted. And this means that they get commentary through earphones, but they're also close enough to the pitch to take in the atmosphere and enjoy the game. So a nice area for people with disability.
The lad whose birthday today.
There's another one.
Where's the other one?
We've got Chesney.
11. Well, what about wishing these two children happy birthday?
I think so.
Enjoy yourselves today. We'll do a bit more later on.
Yeah, we'll have a bit of fun later on because you're only 11 once.
Yeah, you're right.
Congratulations. Okay, guys, if you follow me, there's plenty for us to see and do.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, you can.
You know, wherever you sat, if it's raining, do you get wet?
No, the only places you're liable to get wet are if you're in the bottom 2 rows down here.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the rain coming from that way?
Yeah. It's only the 2 rows there. The very front 2 rows all around the stadium are your most risk. No, you don't get wet. It really, the rain starts on the side of the pitch. Just stop here for a minute. Let everyone in. Okay, right, we're just going to stop here for a brief moment because it links in with our disabled supporters section. This area on match day is specifically kept for them, so they close the doors there, and then it means that people, especially those with mobility issues or in wheelchairs, can come and move around freely without any blockages. And also, if they don't want, people don't want to get caught up in people coming to the ground or leaving, they can stay before and after the game. So it's a nice area for anyone with disability to be. They have an ability suite because this is all about independent living. So people with disability don't want someone always hanging around doing things for them. So we try and make things possible for everybody. So everything's at, say, wheelchair height. They can have a drink, get their food, everything. So it's really quite a nice place to be. Also, some of you will notice this montage. This is photographs by members of our Supporters Association, Disabled Supporters Association. Last time we won the Champions League in 2008. Again, we're very proud of the fact that we took 150 members of the association to Moscow, free of charge, paid for their tickets free of charge, put them up in a hotel free of charge. And I think it really is the responsibility of clubs like Manchester United to do this sort of work, because you know we are up there with the top names in football, and if we can't do it, we can't expect other people to do it. Not such a pleasant place, especially for those naughty Arsenal fans, is the police station at the end there. 3 detention rooms, and they're not used very often now, not quite as much trouble as we used to, but they are there should you be a bit naughty, so be warned, and that's included on this tour. So anyone who's a bit naughty, you know where you're going.
Have we got any Chelsea supporters?
Oh yeah, Chelsea.
The simple reason is we played Chelsea, as we said, at that game. Manchester United are not biased, especially the tour guide, because we published a few photographs of John Terry, their famous captain. There's one there. That's when he slipped taking that penalty. Sorry, Bob, come on.
And we do adapt it if you're a Liverpool fan, that can also be
Oh,
Stevie
the
G.
Liverpool. We have 3 police cells in there, one for gentlemen, one for ladies, and one for Liverpool supporters.
Not true, not true. Right, let's go up to the press conference and have a look at that. lovely, isn't it, to get a picture when Mr. Van Hall does his press conference. Anyone else got a birthday? Are we missing anyone else? There'll be a few people now saying, yeah, me. You ready for some tough questions? Don't worry, don't. This isn't where you see the television interviews, though. We're going to show you where that is a bit later. This is really where the newspaper people come. They will put all their telephones, recording devices along here. And this is really post-match. So if you see interviews before the... Are you coming through? You're going to get some tough questions. You ready for it? Here's another one. Who got a full...
You were behind in a bit of a grown-up lad, that's why I asked you the one.
Okay. This could take some time, this press conference. You're right. So the television interviews aren't done here. During the week they're at our training centre in Carrington, which is about 7 miles away, which is a big facility. So that's where the players work all during the week. So they're only here on match days. So what happens is the press will come through the door at the back and we ply them with free food and drink in a desperate attempt to get the good reviews. That hasn't really worked particularly well this year, but we do keep trying. That's also where they can send their stories off to their various newspapers or onto the World Wide Web. But the normal procedure is 10 minutes after the game, the manager of the away team will come in and sit where Chesney is now, and they will be asked about the game. And no naughty questions about, are you being sacked in the morning and all that sort of stuff. Because there'll be a press secretary here who'll say, stay on track, it's about the game. After asking those questions, the manager will leave and then Mr. Van Gaal will come in and sit exactly where you are. So there will normally be somebody from the press side of things beside him to look after his interests, and that could be where Ryan Giggs comes in. Doesn't always come in, but usually it's the manager, okay? And he will get those questions. And that's, yeah, go on.
Does that go on TV then?
No. The only way you'll see that is if you've got MUTV, our own TV channel, because they do film in here. No one else films in here, so it's radio and TV only.
Right.
The only time it's different is European games, they have to come in here, and they come in here before and after the game, because obviously it's not the same. And there's press from Europe here as well. And Alex Ferguson, as you're probably well aware, wasn't too keen on this particular part of being a football manager. But for European Champions League games, he would have had to come in here. And he did, generally, apart from his last game. Anyone remember his last European game? Big game?
Madrid.
Madrid. Who was that? Who wants to be a tour guide there? Madrid. It was the Madrid game. We were doing pretty well, and then Nani got sent off, and Ronaldo scored a goal, and it all fell apart. And Mr. Ferguson said, "I'm not coming up." And even when he was fined, he said it was probably cheap at the price, because had he said what he wanted to say, he might be using those detention rooms downstairs. Okay, but so no, you won't see this on TV. But some very famous players have signed on the dotted line to play for Manchester United here. From Dion Dublin up to Diego Forlan. So all of the greats have put the shirt on, signed a contract here. Eric Cantona, Peter Schmeichel, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Dwight York, Roy Keane, the list goes on. So you've got your backside where some very famous people have had their backside. Okay?
Right, before you do finish,
yeah.
This young lad's a big fan of Memphis Depay. Now, he's the only player from recently what has actually signed in this room. And the reason he signed in here, it's not that there wasn't enough people to fill it. There was 3 times people kept coming in and going out, going in, coming out. It's simply because when they normally sign on now at the Aon complex down at Carrington, they were revamping it all, painting and decorating. And they decided to sign Memphis Depay in this room.
Yes,
oh, you're okay, you're in his seat there.
You've done it. He's starting to perform for us now, isn't he? Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Welcome.
if you just stop at the back of the tour and I'll explain a little bit to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, just speak to Alan, so if you just wait there and pick up Alan at the end, he'll make
Okay,
sure you
if
don't
the
miss
rest
him.
of you want to go now.
Okay, can you all hear me? You're now in the south stand. We started the tour where that group opposites are, so you can see exactly the three tiers of the Sir Alex Ferguson stand. The areas to note here are directly above your head is a TV gantry, and today they'll be hoisting cameras up, either today or tomorrow. They'll be hoisting the cameras up onto that gantry. The commentators sit on that gantry with the cameras. 7 cameras up there, but lots of other cameras. You can see pods on the top of, where level 2 is. You see metal pods where they put the cameras. So that's how it is televised. The TV studios are on your far left-hand side. The far away one is MUTV. The nearer one is where the TV provider is, Sky, BT, whoever's delivering the football TV to the nation. As you look to your right, you will see the grey desks and black screen covers. That is where the press sit and where the TV commentaries are done from. So if you listen to 5 Live or any of those sports channels, that's where the commentators and the pundits sit. And it's directly above the conference room where you just sat. And as we look across the stadium, the other thing you need to look at, behind you are where those very select people sit. So you will see some seats for the Busby family on the front row. So Matt Busby, part of the legend of Manchester United, and now his family, even though he's not surviving and his son and daughter aren't surviving, the Busby family will always have 4 seats here to recognise his achievements. Sir Alex Ferguson has 8 seats. They're about 5 rows back up there, next to David Gill. They retired at the same time. David Gill was the chief exec. So Bobby Charlton has 4 seats there as well. Does anyone know what this stand's going to be renamed in April? Great, thank you, sir. Sir Bobby Charlton, this will be the Sir Bobby Charlton stand to recognise Sir Bobby's achievements with Manchester United as well. Okay, do you want to see the changing rooms? Yeah. So we have a trip down there, so if you'd like to follow me. Okay guys, I'm going to ask you to stick together. We're going to go up some steps and there's a lockable door at the top of those steps, and when you get to the bottom there's another lockable door because we're going into a restricted area. Please can you keep the door open for the person behind you? I'd really appreciate that. Make sure you get all the things that you want. Okay, I'll just give you a couple of minutes to sort of sneak through any. Then I'll tell you something about match day procedure. No, I don't see and that's, he likes it lined up at the moment, defence, midfield and attack, so he can address either all of them or a specific group of players. He will usually, once they've first arrived and got into their training kit, give them an overview of what he expects. They will go out, warm up, come in 15 minutes before kick-off, and he'll give them the final instructions. And at that time, he'll have the team sheet from Arsenal, and he'll be able to see, we're going to have to move things around, so I want you now to do this job. And that's what he'll use these boards for.
Do you see the TV?
The TV,
Does that get played like when they're, you know, would they show them clips of the
it could
half
do.
time?
Time is always a little bit of a problem.
Right.
It could be that they can use, they've got a facility to do analysis of the first half,
Yeah.
so they could do that. On the whole, they have MUTV or Sky TV or something on.
Right.
Yes, they have used it for that, but
Right.
it's playing against time really.
Yeah.
At half time they return here, they'll have a hot sweet tea or an energy drink, energy bar before they go out. And at the end of the game, through there are 6 individual showers and 2 plunge pool type. To me it looks like an industrial washing machine, and it's a cold water pool. So now instead of getting in the foamy bubble bath, they get in these ice cold plunge pools for a few minutes, and it just makes the recovery from bruises and strains a bit quicker. So it's an important way of keeping the players fit. 7 minutes before kick-off, and it is buzzing in here, you can hear all the noise, so it's not quiet like this. It really is, the atmosphere in here is electric. 7 minutes before kick-off, the referee, whose office is just down the corridor, rings a bell, and the captain will lead Manchester United out to play. The away team are next door. Unfortunately, we can't go in there because Arsenal are sorting out their kit for tomorrow. So their kit manager comes down the day before, so we won't be able to go in there. But very, very exciting. And the one thing we have got here is a very long corridor to put our 13 Premier League championships up. Arsenal have only got a tiny one because they've only got, what is it, 4 is it? Chelsea's 4, Arsenal's only got 3. 3. And
Blackburn Rovers
1. Who's got none? Liverpool. A little bit of fun at Liverpool's expense, never mind. So,
5 championships.
yeah, they are. I don't think they're a pretty impressive side, aren't they? If you'd like to follow me, we'll go down to the top.
Okay, Bob, can you make your way further down so everybody can come in, please? Thank you.
Just move up a wee bit and keep people stranded in the
Let them have a look.
championships with one. That's it. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Just a couple more, please. Thank you.
That's it. We can just let our youngsters get where they can see as well. Okay? You see all right? Okay. You are now, sorry you can't go down the tunnel. You're obviously aware that they're setting up for tomorrow's match here. But you can see how wide and high it is. Any of the youngsters, why is it so wide and high? Do you anyone know? Let's make the definition of a youngster here. I'm not a youngster. Who's shouting that one? Who's a youngster? Someone must be a youngster here. Do you know why it's so high and wide here, Chesney? Why do you think it is? Tall player. Good one. Peter Crouch. They might have to lift it for Peter Crouch. And maybe Fellaini when he's having a bad hair day. But no, the reason is after the Hillsborough disaster and the Bradford fire, One of the recommendations was that we weren't able to get emergency services to the fans quickly enough. So we moved the tunnel here. That will open completely. That bit with yellow there lifts, hydraulic lift, it goes up 25 feet, so even Peter Crouch can get out there. They snap the curtain off at the end, and that means an ambulance and a fire engine can get into the pitch. So it's very, very important. This ground can evacuate 76,000 people in 8 minutes. Pretty impressive. So it should make you feel safe when you're here. Very, very safe stadium. The boards that you see are where they do the television interviews. So that's, if you recognise the Match of the Day BBC, Sky Sports or BT, and MUTV at the very bottom. So when you see Van Gaal being interviewed, this is where it's happening. Okay, before we move to the dugouts, I'll just give you a bit of an idea of what it may be like on match days.
Get you took through Paul to come and look this way, can't you? Will you do it after this talk? After this one, I was just going to see this gentleman.
Okay. Just made it inside. Just made it inside.
Yeah, all right. I'm not even that bad yet.
Watch yourself there, mate, over that side, please.
If you want us to take a picture, just let us know.
Yeah, I understand that.
Okay, a bit quieter here, so just by way of finish off the explanation, that part of the ground was banned and bonded in 1441, and actually Manchester United played for about 9 years at Main Road where Manchester City played, so it hosted both clubs for quite a few years. The only bit that was left standing really was that tunnel. So when they came to redevelop the ground in the mid-90s, they had a choice. Do we knock down this piece of history, this legacy, or do we keep it? Space is at a premium in an old stadium, but they decided to keep it because of the history that goes with it. So I am really glad that you can have a chance to see what the tunnel used to be like. In those days, the away team would have run out first, and the first team to play here were Liverpool on the 19th of February, and they ran out first, and Manchester United would run out after them. Very steep slope down there, so they would have run out in those days. Unfortunately, I don't want to tell you what the score was that day, because that's where it all started, wasn't it? Okay. All right, it was 3-4. I don't want to talk about it anymore. But that history goes right back to that game. And as you came out, I hope you saw the pictures of the Flowers of Manchester. February the 6th, 1958, average age 22. 8 of the 11 first team players were killed in Munich as that plane, after refueling, crashed. 23 people died, so a tragedy all round. Matt Busby, the manager at the time, who'd come into Manchester United after the war, was very seriously hurt. He was read the last rites 3 times, but did survive, and ultimately went on to build the famous team that won the European Cup in 1968. I'm sure we all remember that old grainy footage, don't we? If we can't remember the day of Charlton and Best and all that fantastic day. 2 great sides built by Sir Matt Busby. A lot more on that. When you come out of as usual, we finish at the mega store, so hope your pockets are full of gelt and much money. But if you come out of the mega store, turn right, down the Munich tunnel, there's some lovely storyboards that tell you the whole story from beginning to end about that team that was dominating domestic football and likely to dominate European football, how they were sadly eradicated and how they rebuilt. Truly, the greatest story in football. I certainly believe that. The mega store is a bit pricey, as these places are, but you do get a free certificate for your attendance. So please make sure you get that. It's at the bottom left-hand side where customer services is. You get your name on it, and you always have a memento of your day at Old Trafford. And I know, especially for you birthday boys and some youngsters here, it'll be a special day. You want to look around this fantastic stadium. If you want to go back in the museum, out of the mega store, turn left, and you'll come back, and you can use your tickets all day. Okay, so make the most of it. Thank you very much, and I hope you've enjoyed your tour. And as Alan said, if any of you are unhappy that you didn't get pictures down by the dugout, you come and speak to the customer services in the museum, and we'll try and sort something out with you. Is that okay? Okay, guys, it's been a pleasure having you. Alan and myself. Oh yeah, TripAdvisor. We are asked to always, if you do use TripAdvisor, we do appreciate feedback, good or bad. You know, we want to give you a good experience, so please make sure you, if you do use it, we really appreciate that. Depends on the result.
Den röda som är liksom...
I was born to be united. Daddy told me when I was just a baby. When I was 5, I went down the Warwick Road. Now I'm addicted, the only place I'll go. Take me home, United Road, to the place I belong, to Old Trafford, to see United. Take me home, United Road. All my memories, Bobby Charlton, Chucky Bass and Kent Ferrari came to us from heaven. And in the new camp in 1999,